Hi, I'm Hank McGovern, and I'm a psychologist in North Carolina, and I am on a mission to help reduce suicide. And I've talked a little bit about my book in another segment, and I talked about a change in the national consciousness for reducing suicide. And now I want to introduce to you something I invented that I think has the potential to really be helpful to people having suicidal ideas. And I invented what I call life reminder cards. And these life reminder cards are basically suicide prevention cards that someone can carry with them. They can be carried in a person's wallet or a purse, and they have 9 different reminders on them. These reminders are based on psychological principles, so a good bit of thought went into coming up with these reminders, and I believe that they could actually help to deter somebody when they are in the midst of despair or distress, and they need something to look at, to read, and remind them that they can continue to live. Okay? So for example, the first reminder says, suicidal thoughts are signals that something in your life does need to end. It's just not you. Explore what needs to die. Now, that one statement can be huge because it indicates the suicidal thoughts someone is having can be accepted and appreciated as signals that somebody does need to focus on what needs to die in their life, what needs to end. So for example, perhaps someone has an extreme amount of anxiety, okay? So much that they say, I can't stand it. I just can't tolerate this. It's horrible. Okay, now, what needs to die, okay, might be the way that they view that anxiety as terrible and catastrophic and intolerable. And instead, if they say, okay, I don't like this anxiety, but I can stand it. I can handle it. I can accept it and manage it. And have that kind of perspective, those kind of thoughts about it. So in that instance, what needs to die is the intolerance of the anxiety, and what can be born instead is a certain kind of tolerance for it. That's just one example of hundreds or maybe thousands of something that needs to die so that something else can be reborn. The next reminder actually is, I can accept this anxiety and I can tolerate this pain. Very often people want to end their life because they feel like the anxiety is unbearable. Now, this is going to sound very simple, okay? But one of the best cures for anxiety is acceptance of it. Acceptance of it. When you accept anxiety, then you can actually begin to experience a certain calm or peace. Now, what I'm saying in a nutshell, and very briefly right now, will not be enough just to hear that and say, oh, I heard this and I tried it. This does need a little bit of work. Okay? So you'll need to practice accepting the anxiety. Practice, practice, practice is something I've learned so much when I've worked with clients. That is essential. So as they practice acceptance and as they practice tolerance of the pain, then they can be better able to start grappling with the difficulties they're having. The next reminder is, it's never too late to start all over again. I'm not going to go into detail about that one, The next one is hope and help are just around the corner. That's true. One of the problems for people who are having suicidal feelings is that they feel hopeless. And sometimes they feel helpless. Well, there is hope and there is help. And it just needs to be looked for. And with a little bit of a search, you'll be able to find that hope and that help. The next reminder on here is by ending your life, you will not be able to experience the relief you are seeking. You can find relief from your pain in this life. Now, this is a very interesting reminder because many people want to end their life because they find the pain to be intolerable or excruciating, so they want relief. However, when someone dies, they're not likely to be able to experience the relief because they'll be dead. Now, I laugh a little bit because very often people don't want to talk about suicide with any levity or lightness or humor. Guess what? I do. I think that we... There goes that peacock again, laughing at me talking about humor. You know, I mean, how much can you get out of that? Anyway, I think we do need to bring some levity and some lightness to the subject of suicide, and sometimes I do joke about it when I can, and at the same time, I certainly want to be respectful of people when they are feeling suicidal. So both can happen. We can lighten up about it, and we can still be respectful about it. Okay. Now, that one reminder, though, it has been helpful to some clients who I've worked with. When I say, you know, if you end your life, you won't be able to have the relief that you want because you'll be dead. And it's like a light goes on. Say, oh, I never thought about it that way. Okay. Now the next reminder is there's another option you haven't discovered yet. Always more than one option. And that speaks to how when people are feeling suicidal, they look at things one way and one way only. And suicide or ending their life is the one way that they focus on to escape their pain. However, it's very, very important to focus on the fact that there is more than one option. Okay, suicide is one option. However, there are others. Okay. Now, another reminder on the card simply is to find someone who can listen. And I give the very well-known number, 800-273-TALK. Okay, that is the hotline for suicidal people when they want someone to listen to them. Okay, that's a suicide prevention hotline. Then I also have a reminder on here to find someone to teach you self-soothing skills. Okay. That, of course, speaks to finding a way to relax better, to find calmness. And that may take a little bit of teaching and learning. The last reminder on here is do not listen to anyone who judges you or says you shouldn't feel this way. You feel this way for a reason. So as we move forward, I'm hoping that more and more people will become less judgmental and will accept people having suicidal thoughts and will not judge them, but instead will listen to them. However, of course there will still be people who have learned to judge, and they will continue to do so. So it will just be important to sort of disregard those folks, say thank you, but no thank you, and find someone who can listen to you and accept in an accepting way. So these cards, like I say, can be carried in a purse or a wallet, and I think that they have the potential to help deter suicide. You can get these cards from me on my website. It's called peacefulmoonpress.com. peacefulmoonpress.com. I do charge $1 a card, and I'll tell you why. Some people have bemoaned me charging something for a card, but these cards are valuable, and because they're valuable, of course they're worth at least $1. If they could save a life, you figure how much does someone pay for a pack of cigarettes, and they actually cause death, right? So I spent some time getting these created and also manufacturing them, and so that's one of the reasons that I charge $1 a card. The most important reason, though, okay, is that if somebody, this has to do with social psychology. Social psychology has found that if somebody pays a small price for something, they're much more likely to value it than if they get it for free. Okay? That's where I'll say that again. Social psychology has found that someone is much more likely to value something if they pay a small price for it than if they get it for free. So that's actually the main reason I charge at least $1. By the way, I have decreased the price of these to $1. So get them now. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to me. And if you want to go to my website again, peacefulmoonpress.com, I'll see you there. Okay? Thanks a lot.